So in this video, we've got to talk about foods that are going to support the slowing down of aging. Let's just say it that way. I'm 1 week, almost 2 weeks past my 54th birthday as I'm doing this video. So I'm very much excited to find all the ways I can slow aging down, which is why I'm deep in the research and excited to share what I'm seeing with you all. Now, before I dive into the anti-aging foods, I do want to point out there's another little part on the flip side of food that is really good for slowing aging down, and that's fasting. So remember, when we're looking at a 24-hour period, you have a window where you're fasting and you have a window where you're eating, unless you're doing like a 3-day water fast. So what I'm going to share with you now is how do you bring back in some really cool foods, yummy foods, so that you can support you can slow aging down, but you can support just a healthy body when you start to eat. So let's dive in here. I think the first thing you've got to ask yourself is, what does anti-aging mean to you? So some of you want to look 20 again. I'm not really sure I want to look 20 again. Definitely don't want to be the maturity I was at 20. But, if that's the goal, I'll break this down for you as to like skin health and things that we can look at there. But for me, when I think of anti-aging, I'm really focused on the brain as a big one. So as I went to go put this video together for you all, I was thinking, okay, what does anti-aging mean to me? And it really is a combination of brain, skin, muscle, joints, and hormones. I'm big on making sure my hormones stay age appropriate. I know at 54, I'm not getting back the hormones that I had at 24, but I'd like to preserve the ones my postmenopausal ones that I'm getting right now. So with that in mind, let me chunk down the foods according to what body part you would nourish this with to slow down aging. So, because I don't know what your motivation for anti-aging is, I just chunked it down like that. Okay, so first is the brain, most important organ in the body. Two of my favorite anti-aging foods for the brain. One is avocado. I have an avocado 1-2 times a day. I love avocado, and it's so good not only to help your hunger. I do avocado with everything just to make sure I leave that meal very, very, very full and satiated. But also, it's incredible for having a good balance of omega-3, 6, 9 fats, which your brain needs. So love avocados for the brain. Second thing, anti-aging food I love for the brain are eggs. Eggs, you have to remember, they're high in choline. Choline is an important amino acid for many of the neurotransmitters in your diet. So it's really, if you eat eggs, I highly recommend that you eat eggs on a regular basis. And for those of you that are like looking at your protein amount, I used to eat a lot of eggs to break my fast with. They only have 6 grams of protein. They also have leucine in it, which is that amino acid that opens up all the other amino acid sensor receptors for muscle growth. But if you're going to need to get to 20 or 30 grams, you're going to have like 4 or 5 of them. So just be aware you might need to eat more. Second part that I want to talk about of aging is your gut. And the reason I put the gut in here is because the gut really translates to skin. If you want to know what your large intestine looks like, just, look at your skin. Like if your skin's a hot mess, your gut's a hot mess, and vice versa. We also know that the gut helps make serotonin. And for my menopausal women, remember that when estradiol goes away, she was making serotonin. And so you don't have as much serotonin available to you. So we're going to want to make sure that we keep the gut in good shape so that those little microbes that are inside your gut are making enough serotonin to keep you happy. So I like it for skin. I like it for mood. I like it for immunity, and that's an anti-aging thing that I didn't bring up in the beginning, that a lot of people notice their immune system goes down. So if I want to support good gut health, we come back to my 3 Ps. Remember my 3 Ps from Fast Like a Girl? I put in there the polyphenol, probiotic, and prebiotic foods. And my favorite probiotic rich food Favorite might be a strong word. The one I eat the most is sauerkraut. I eat it sometimes when I don't even want it. I put it on a pizza the other day and actually cooked it a little bit, just lightly. It was so good, believe it or not. I also like kefir, like raw kefir. We do a lot of raw yogurts at home, but it's so good for populating that gut and slowing down the aging process. A great polyphenol food, two of them. Let me give you two of my favorite. One is olives. Olives are phenomenal because they really not only are the perfect fasted snack, they have no calories, they have no protein, they're pure fat. But they also are polyphenols, so they feed those microbes, which is really amazing. That's why I love olives. Okay, the next one is nuts and seeds. Now, when you look at nuts and seeds, I like them because they're a prebiotic. Anything fibery is prebiotic too. So if you don't like nuts and seeds or you're allergic to them, you don't have to be committed to the ones that I'm mentioning, that I'm saying here. But nuts and seeds will also feed the good bacteria in your gut so that they can make you all the wonderful neurochemicals that I talked about. Just make sure they're either raw or dry roasted, would be the bare minimum, but you don't want oils roasted in them. Then they're inflammatory and that's going to speed up aging. Okay, the next category that I looked at for anti-aging was muscle. Okay, well, muscle is the organ of longevity. It is the thing that we really want to make sure that you are getting a lot of as you age. Really important for functionality, so you can get up and out of a chair. Really important for insulin sensitivity. All of that is crazy, crazy important. So if we want to keep our muscles healthy and strong and slow down the aging process, the best source is animal protein. Grass-fed beef specifically has all the amino acids in it that you need. But if you don't eat beef, are you willing to eat poultry? Are you willing to, eat some fish? Like, how can we bring some animal meat back in? Because the extensive piece of the amino acid profile is profound. So if you're not doing that and you're vegetarian, then we got to make sure that you at least know what vegetables you can have amino acids from. There's a few, and maybe you're taking a supplement. But for muscle, for me as a 54-year-old woman, I'm really trying to build muscle as I age, just as an anti-aging piece. Next one is joints and skin. So with joints and skin, we got to think lubrication. So when you're dry in your skin, when you're dry in your joints, this is a lot of my friends that are big in in teaching Ayurvedic medicine. Not my specialty, but I have a lot of friends that are very passionate about that and teach it. They're always talking about oils, and especially when it's dry out. Like it's fall right now where I am. We haven't had a ton of rain here yet. And so it's going to be a little bit drier, which makes my skin a little drier and my joints a little stiffer. And of course, the more we age, the more that becomes an issue. So are you eating enough, drinking enough, using enough oils? Olive oil is great. MCT oil is great. Flaxseed oil is great. Especially for the hormones, which we'll talk about in a moment. So make sure that you're putting enough oils into your diet. The last piece that I look at here are hormones. Because that's when you age, we got to think about hormones. We can't lose too many of them. I'm never going back to the younger ones, but we can't lose too many of them. So for food for hormones, my favorite are sweet potatoes. I just did a beautiful Resetter podcast with Ocean Robbins and all about the wonders of sweet potatoes. And he reminded me that the Okinawa women, this is one of their major staples of their food. And actually both men and women, in Okinawa, he said that 50% of the Okinawan diet comes from sweet potatoes. And these people are living to well past 100. So there must be something in that sweet potato. And there is. It turns out it's really great for feeding microbes, but it's also really important for making progesterone, which even if you're 70 and you're a woman, you're still making progesterone. So we want to make sure that stays up. So many things I can say about the sweet potato. If you want all the detail on the sweet potato, you can go and you can listen to the episode I did with Ocean Robbins. Okay, check this out. I have a free fasting guide for you all. It's free. and it's going to teach you all the basics of fasting. It's going to teach you how to kill hunger when you fast, which is really cool. And it's going to show you how to break your fast, among many other things. All you got to do is click on this link right here and enjoy. Now, the other one for hormones, this is a really fun one that I love, food that I love, is chocolate. But I'm not talking like, chocolate like from your local convenience store. I'm talking about good, high quality chocolate that is actually rich in cocoa and not so rich in sugar. So I always look for like a 70 or an 80% chocolate is incredible. I have chocolate every day. Sometimes it's a little cube, sometimes it's more than a cube. I really like chocolate. It's high in magnesium and it'll help you make progesterone as well. And then the last food I would say on this is one I've already talked about, but if we're looking at, we need to make sure we're making progesterone. I don't want to leave estrogen out. She's definitely got needs for us, really a lot of needs for us as we age. So we're back at looking at things like flaxseed oil. The other interesting one, and you can decide where this fits in, that really supports estrogen production is dried apricots. Now, those of us who watch our blood sugar, we may be like, I might put a dried apricot with some cheese to make sure that the blood sugar doesn't spike too high. But dried apricots can really help with estrogen production as well. So there you go. I mean, it really depends on what you want to do and what matters to you. I'd love to hear what you've noticed. And what you're finding. Again, we are a community here. We all learn from each other. But when I look at aging, I look at, my life and where I am at 54 and what I want to do with this body that I'm so blessed to live in, I really realized that what I wrote in Fast Like a Girl, going in and out of these 6 different fasts is so important for slowing the aging process down. And then, I wrote in here a lot about the foods that support hormones, which is also really important. And then in this video, I'm adding also some other foods that are really important for you as well, especially when it comes to like your brain and your gut and your joints. And it just use this video as like to ask yourself, like, are you eating these things? And it really should lead to the question of, are you eating enough diversity in your diet? We end up eating the same thing over and over again, and going into go back and watch this video again, take notes and get the list down, and then maybe put that list somewhere, maybe on your refrigerator of that helps you to remember to eat these foods so you can come at aging from as many different body parts as possible. So, as always, I really hope that helps, and those are my favorite foods that will slow the aging process. Okay, if you loved this video, you're going to want to check out the next video of my food series. On this video, want to talk about the healthy foods that you might be eating that will stop you from a long and healthy life.